Ladies and gentlemen, Jaylen Brown recently interviewed after a game they had with Oklahoma City Thunder, and he is now questioning why there's a lack of clarity from the team owners regarding Kyrie Irving's suspension. And he's right. And the union, in my opinion, should be stepping up at this point. What's the point in having a union if you're going to sit back and do and say nothing? So we're past the 5 games. In fact, it's been 6. So, following Boston Celtics' victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jaylen Brown was interviewing and he said, he criticizes the net owner, Joe Tsai, and the handling of the ongoing suspension levied against Brooklyn net Kyrie Irving. And he's absolutely right. And I personally think they're trying to pull a fast one. Last week, him, the team owner, and Adam Silver came out and said they don't believe Kyrie Irving is anti Semitic. I still don't like the way it was done. Where is all that energy you put into coming out and criticizing your own player? And now you want to be soft shoe on saying you don't believe he's anti Semitic. You're not putting all that energy out there. Number two, about a day ago, Joe Tsai was still harping on the way Kyrie apologized. He was still harping on that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think something shady is going on. And they're not exactly coming out and saying it, but they still want him to meet those conditions they wrote. And it's not happening, and he shouldn't have to do that, especially if you're not subjecting any other player that have violated things to sit down with groups of people. I don't believe it should be done. So Jaylen Brown restated his concerns about the length and parameters of the punishment during a post game press conference. So we know Jaylen Brown is the vice president of the Players Association, and Kyrie Irving is a former teammate of his. So he's been vocal. He hasn't been backing down about his support for Kyrie out here in the press. So he feels that they need to clear the pathway for him to return back to the court, and he's got a problem with a lack of timeline, a clear timeline on when this will occur. Just a few weeks ago, Irving shared the documentary on Instagram that led to his suspension. Now, he didn't speak any words, he just sent out a link and he got suspended. And they keep coming at him like he gave us wrote a whole paragraph right along with the link, you know and of course he apologized, and then now the team owner, well, he apologized after he got suspended. Oh, so you're really picky and choosy about how this apology should be. And this is why I am saying the union at this point need to step up and deal with this owner. You're being all nitpicky. You got an apology and you're still being all nitpicky. No, Kyrie Irving should not have to say anything at this point. The union need to step up. So the Nets announced that Irving would miss several games and would need to complete a series of steps in order to be reinstated, including sensitivity training and meeting with Jewish leaders. Well, my thing is, if that's not part of your organization, then he should not have to meet with them, not unless they are part of the NBA organization. If not, no, he shouldn't. And y'all remember, there are no written guidelines about social media posts for NBA players. It was Jaylen Brown that brought that out. He said there are no written rules that they have to follow for social media posts. All right. More recently, Tsai claimed Irving still has more work to do before returning to the court. So they're still trying to hold him to these conditions. And like everybody say, it's buck breaking. It really is. They want to do this on the world stage instead of being professional enough to do these things behind the scenes. See, they want to make a grand finale out of this. He's got to go through this. And then they're going to come out and put that all in the press. Well, he did this, he did this. And, they're going to broadcast everything that occurs out in the press, and to me that makes you extremely unprofessional. And it just goes to show you, no matter how much education they claim they have, no matter how smart they claim they are, when it comes down to certain issues, they are very unprofessional. Your professionalism needs work. So Sai's response was alarming to me. This is what Jaylen Brown said. He didn't say that the organization was working together with Kyrie to get back on the floor. He said Kyrie had more work to do. And as vice president of the players union, is part of my job to protect our players legally. Well, it might be time for that, because the unions are supposed to have lawyers, and it may be time for you to do that. Later in the press conference, Brown reiterated his chief concern is with the perceived lack of clarity and the overall process governing the Nets' decision. The terms that the Brooklyn Nets has instituted for his return, I've already voiced my discomfort, Brown said. Some of our players, some of our people in the media have voiced some of their discomfort with that. We've yet to hear what is the latest with the situation. It's still indefinite suspension, and Kyrie already missed 5 or 6 games. Yes. So Brown, for his part, suggested that the uncharted territory for the league and PA. Yes, he did. And like I said, I did a video on that where he brought out the no guidelines for media posts, social media posts. I think if you ask uh, for the need to say something to the common public, I'm not sure if that is something that Kyrie is looking to do, Brown said. I don't think he meant any harm by posting it. Obviously, it came off as insensitive to a lot of people, but Adam Silver came out with a statement saying he doesn't believe Kyrie Irving is anti Semitic. Tsai came out and said in a statement that they don't believe he's anti Semitic. Those were their words. He already apologized. Brown did hint that there were more than a procedural element to this specific concern. During the press conference, he made mention of broader systems within the NBA and beyond that need to be considered when trying to understand the situation. Our society has more work to do, including Tsai. Brown said, "It's 2022. It takes 10 minutes of our time to see who these business owners, corporations, Inc., um, who they associate with, who they do business with, and who they affiliate with. I think it's time for a larger conversation." So, Jalen Brown largely struck to commentary regarding the vagueness of any possible return to action for Kyrie and suggested that Tsai's assessment of Kyrie is unclear. The comment that Josiah made, which I feel was bothered a lot of people, was he has more work to do. What does that mean? Brown said. Our society has more work to do, including Josiah. So I'm curious to know what that is, what that means. As one of the union's most vocal leaders, Brown grounded his criticism and concerns in his role as vice president in the NBPA. "This is our league," Brown said. "We are all basketball players, but we are all human beings as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the union and NBA figure out what the next steps are in this whole thing." And I agree. It is unclear. And everybody is buzzing in the news. Oh, well, when is he coming back? When is he coming back? And like I said, this is the time for the union to get involved. If you're not going to say nothing or step up and take a legal stand against the league, then what good are you? Then dismantle the union because you're not helping nobody. Plain and simple. But I happen to agree with Jalen. They came out and made those statements, but they never said anything about his return, which means I believe they're doing some shady dealing behind the scenes. I really do. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.